Malia Dell lives in Rockland. She used to work at the acclaimed restaurant Primo, also in Rockland, and she's out with a new cookbook. It's called Food That Works, Real Meals to Survive the 9 to 5. Malia is with us in the 207 kitchen. What you going to make for us?
All right, today we're going to make a good summer meal that's quick and minimal cleanup.
Yes.
We're going to make salmon cooked in parchment packet, also called empiope, which means it's a cooking method where you cook food in parchment paper, and it cooks in its own steam and juices, so it tastes delicious.
All right, let's get started. Where do we begin?
Yeah, we're going to start with this amazing, this is a wild-caught salmon.
Beautiful
which I recommend.
piece of fish.
Yeah, it's beautiful in color because this fish was wild, eating awesome shellfish and good stuff its whole life. So I always suggest picking the best quality that you can find of wild fish.
Right.
So we'll do some pepper, get some salt on there. This is a nice thick piece. We're going to put some sliced lemon rounds. So all of this is going to steam together.
Yes.
And these are capers, which I love, and I generously put capers all over it. And a lot of the caper juice as well, because that gives you a liquid which will create more steaming in the packet as it's cooking.
Okay.
So be generous with the juices, and you can flavor these packets any way you like. Sometimes I do red sauce with white wine, or you can do pesto.
So the paper will stand up. The paper is not going to suddenly, deteriorate on you.
No. So I'm folding it. I'm trying to create a tight little seal there. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is testing your origami skills right here.
My origami skills sorely lacking. How are yours?
Well, this will be good practice. So you're just kind of folding, making sure that your juices aren't going to leak out and that this whole thing is going to steam nicely. And that is it. It cooks for 15 minutes at 350 in the oven. Right. And then you have dinner, and everyone can open their own little packet on their plate, and it's a lot of fun.
All right, so we're going to put this
right on a baking sheet.
15 minutes at 350?
15 minutes, 350.
In
and
the oven?
It's going to steam in the packet, and so it'll be perfectly cooked every time, minimal cleanup. It's a great dish.
All right, and now you've got the second part of the meal, which is
right
what?
On. Yeah, so this is actually mashed cauliflower potatoes. So I like to cook this because the cauliflower is less in calories, less carbs, and it has a ton of vitamin C. So it's a good way to sneak cauliflower into your meal. And now that I've tried this trick, I actually prefer my potatoes this way. I usually do half cauliflower, half potato.
When I was a kid, you couldn't have paid me to eat cauliflower. I would think this is a good sort of gateway vegetable to get people to try some cauliflower. Folks who think they don't like it, is mix it with potato. I think that's a great idea.
Just sneak it in there, and you'll learn to love it.
Now, I'm sorry, go ahead.
All we've done here is we've boiled the potatoes with the cauliflower florets, and before we drained it, we were careful to reserve some of the water, because this is Flavor Town. This is all of the nutrients and vitamins from the boiled water. So I use this instead of adding cream to my potatoes.
Good idea.
It's just delicious. So don't miss out on wasting this. I usually reserve a cup, pour it in, and that determines the thickness and the consistency. And then I put in some awesome grass-fed, good quality butter. This is Kerrygold, which I love. And then we just puree it with a hand immersion blender.
Before we do that, I just want to talk to you about the general theme of the book, which is, people can see this is a very straightforward recipe. This is not complicated cooking, and yet very nice ingredients and what looks like a wonderful dish. What's sort of the theme of your book?
Yeah, so I designed this book for busy people who are working, but they want to eat more whole foods. So it's a strategic guide to help you survive your 9 to 5.
So you give people tips on what to buy, how to prep it, and then how to actually make the dish and eat it, and how to eat smart throughout the whole week.
Yeah, and we're all busy, so they're quick recipes. It's teaching people to prep their whole foods in advance, like a restaurant does. You prep all your mise en place, put them away in your fridge, so you have a nice organized fridge, and during the week you're just grabbing handful omelet, and you're out the door.
So many of us, it's not until 6 o'clock at night we say, gee, what am I going to have for dinner? That's not the way it works in the restaurant world. You got to plan ahead.
Yeah, and it teaches you to expedite your time in the kitchen. So I'm teaching you to cut some tricks here.
All right, why don't you move ahead with that?
All right, so we've got, this is a hand immersion blender, which I love. It's my favorite tool. It's necessary if you want to eat on the fly. And basically this is going to puree these potatoes. So you just want to make sure that it's submerged. It's very, very easy.
You mean the potatoes aren't going to go flying all over the set here?
No, I'm kind of tipping the pot and making sure that I keep it submerged. But this tool is great because you can use it to make hummus, you can puree soup directly in the pot, you can make smoothies with it. I love this. So you're just whipping up your potatoes, 2 seconds longer, get all these chunks. This looks delicious.
And again, potatoes and cauliflower, which makes for a healthier dish than just eating straight potatoes.
Right, so you can eat more and not feel bad.
That's a good point. No, you eat more and you've actually had a healthier meal.
Exactly. So that's it. You add some salt and pepper. And then you only have one part to clean, which this little part snaps right off. So
that's ready to go.
Yep.
And then the salmon, as you said, about 15 minutes in the oven. At what temperature again?
350.
350. All right. And then when that is done, the potatoes, as we said, are all ready, and you got a dish that looks like that. You keep the salmon right there in the parchment paper, and that is a fine-looking meal.
Everyone's happy. It's quick.
Everyone should be happy. The recipe's on our website. Go to WCSH6.com or WLBZ2.com, the 207 section. That's where you're going to find Malia's recipe for this dish, the salmon in parchment paper, along with the cauliflower mashed potato. And you're going to find more information as well on her book, Food That Works. Where in Maine are the bookstores where people can find the book?
You can find it locally in Portland at Portland Trading Co., Longfellow Books, and Sherman Books.
Very good. Malia, thanks for coming in. Nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me.